Hi everyone, this is Sergio Cevallos from New York Steakhouse at Caesars Windsor. Today bringing you a savory Japanese pancake called Okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki in essence is a savory cabbage-based pancake, but it is very forgiving as you can use different types of vegetables in it. Other suitable vegetables include sweet potato, regular potatoes as well. Actually, the original or one of the original recipes in Japan uses a type of mountain potato native to their area. Leafy vegetables do really well. You can also use broccoli shoots as well, finely shredded. But for today's recipe, we have chosen to go with 2 cups of your white shredded cabbage. We also have about a cup of shredded carrots. We have 1 cup of flour, half a cup of chicken stock. You can use dashi broth as well, or simply you can use water too. We have half a teaspoon of salt. We have half a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of sugar, about a teaspoon of sesame oil, and 2 eggs. We're going to start by adding our flour to a mixing bowl. We're going to follow it with your 2 eggs, chicken stock, our baking powder, our sugar, and we're going to give that a good mix, making sure we're dissolving any lumps. Just give it a vigorous whisk. You get almost a consistency of a pancake or a crepe batter, a thick pancake batter. Okay, follow with your cabbage and your carrots. We're going to switch to a folding motion with the help of a spatula. We're going to add our salt as well, and our sesame oil. So now with the help of a spatula, we're gonna combine everything together. You definitely want more vegetable than batter when preparing your okonomiyaki, so make sure that you have the measurements right, that your cabbage is plentiful, so about 2 cups of cabbage, remember that. This is very important. So it's gonna be a nice thick batter all together. And just with a folding motion, making sure that everything is incorporated properly. I'm gonna set up a burner with a non-stick pan. I'm gonna get it nice and hot. And we're just gonna drizzle some vegetable oil to get things started. So once your pan is nice and hot, spoon in your mix, your cabbage mix. And with the help of the back of the spoon, we're going to flatten it slightly. So we're gonna do one at a time. Like I said, we have enough for 2 medium-sized cakes. And all we need to do now is allow it to brown on both sides. I'm just gonna let it set on one side, flip it, and cover it so it cooks through all the way. Okay, so once we start seeing some browning happening on the edges, it's time to flip it, and you can use 2 spatulas, fairly wide. If you're using a non-stick pan, just make sure that you're not scraping or scratching your pan, so preferably something with a rubber coating on it. So help yourself with a couple of spatulas, and one to receive it, and just make a quick flip just like that. You get a nice golden brown caramelization, and then of course put the lid on your pan to allow it to cook. While your okonomiyaki is cooking, we're going to prepare a sauce we're going to brush on top of the cake once it's finished. It is pretty simple and straightforward. We have 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup that we're going to add to your bowl. Followed by about a tablespoon or so of Japanese soy sauce. about a tablespoon of sugar, Worcestershire sauce, about a teaspoon, and sesame oil, half a teaspoon. It's really to taste, so just play around with the ingredient a little bit. I like to add about a half a teaspoon, and if you like a stronger flavor, you can definitely add more. And just give it a good mix. You're gonna get a glaze texture. So set that aside. Traditionally, okonomiyaki is dressed with a number of toppings, including a Japanese mayonnaise. I'm going to change things up a little bit and do a tangy ginger lime mayonnaise dressing that includes 2 tablespoons of regular mayo, juice of 1 lime, ginger, about a teaspoon of ginger, zest of 1 lime, and just a little bit of water to thin it out. Whisk vigorously. And set aside. Take the glaze you made earlier, grab a rubber brush or just a regular bristles brush works as well, and proceed to generously brush that glaze on top of your cake. Then drizzle some of the mayonnaise dressing you made earlier, and this is where toppings become very creative as well. Bonito flakes are a part of this as well. Any crispy shallots or crispy onions that you want to add to the crunch. But tonight we're just gonna keep it simple. So just drizzle some of that mayo. And to finish off, I have about a tablespoon of green onions from my garden. So why not? We're gonna add some of that. And there you have it, okonomiyaki. You can have it as a light meal on its own or as a side dish as well. Perfect for brunch, lunch, or dinner. It's a great treat to have. Special thanks to Chef Joey Herrera from the Philippines for sharing this recipe with me. And thank you all for tuning in today. Bye for now.